Stadium.
All right, Enrique here. We'll talk about what is in the planning stages now.
Bill and Tracy, the rock and roll capital of the world is now getting its own rock and roll marathon. The new logo for the 13.1-mile marathon was unveiled Tuesday morning. There you see the crowd there clapping.
It was an incredible game tonight, something Met fans won't ever forget. Enrique Correa is at Shea Stadium right now. Enrique.
Cynthia, how you doing? Let me just show you. This is the newest hot item here at Shea. It's the Mets jersey that says Benny Agbayani in the back. As you can see behind me, the people that braved the cold are still here, and they are chanting, Benny, Benny, Benny.
Enrique?
Well, Carol, after last night's win, Mets fans are saying you gotta believe. And now that the Subway Series is here at Shea, Mets fans are saying they got the Yankees right where they want them.
Enrique Correa is here now with that story. Enrique?
Roland, 8 U.S. cities have been competing for the 2012 Olympics. Now it's down to the Final Four. New York City has never hosted the Olympics, and now he might get a chance as the U.S. Olympic Committee has put the Big Apple on its short list.
Okay.
Cynthia, just a few hours ago, Shea Stadium was rocking, the fans were going crazy, and the key phrase you heard over and over again was, bring on St. Louis. Game 1 against the Cardinals will be on Wednesday, and let's keep our fingers crossed for that Subway Series. We're live at Shea Stadium. I'm Enrique Correa, Fox 5 News. Back to you, Cynthia.
Okay, we'll definitely keep our fingers crossed. Thanks a lot, Enrique.
All I have to say is, wow. Wow, can you believe that the Giants can do that they can win in overtime? I made a bunch of new friends here at the Brazen Fox. Big Giant fans, as you can see, and they're all very, very happy today. Let me start with one of these big Giant fans to my right. Wow, can you believe they pulled it off tonight? All weekend long, the Giants have been displaying the Lombardi Trophy at locations all over Westchester. They want to share the Giants' glory with Big Blue fans. Wow, this thing is heavy, weighs about 7 pounds. Hopefully they can do it again next year. In Hastings, I'm Enrique Correa, News 12. Go Giants! For 17 seasons, Patrick Ewing was a member of the NBA. And for 15 of those seasons, he played right here at Madison Square Garden as a member of the New York Knicks. And now that Patrick is officially retired, he plans on being an assistant coach with the Washington Wizards, and he'll be working with Michael Jordan.
It is live outside the court in Lower Manhattan with the very latest. Enrique?
That's right, Cindy. The jury is still deliberating upstairs. They're trying to find out if Rocco Graciosa is guilty of assault, or is it just a case of self-defense? The Ellis family says the other reason why they built this field is because it brought the family together when Ashley became sick.
BET's Enrique Correa has more on the man they call King James.
LeBron James has lived up to all the hype. The first-year guard is the NBA's Rookie of the Year.
You know, it's an honor. You know, I worked hard to get to this point. You know, I thank everybody in my family that helped me to this point.
I'm very proud of him, and he worked hard for it, and he deserves it.
The hard work began right after James was picked first in last year's NBA draft. The 19-year-old guard beat out Denver Nuggets forward Carmelo Anthony to become the youngest player ever to receive the award.
Here's Anthony Cloud, and it'll flush it down. Head of the field, Carmelo.
But some people feel Carmelo should have won the Rookie of the Year title because he led his team to the playoffs and helped turn around a struggling Nuggets franchise.
I believe they should have split it for the simple fact that LeBron is the talent that he is and Melo is the talent that he is. Melo is one of the main reasons Denver made the playoffs in the harder division in the West.
I would have definitely given the nod to Carmelo, without a doubt, because he got his team into the playoffs, and you know, LeBron didn't.
When you take a look at LeBron, this is a kid that came straight out of high school, and he's performed at the highest levels of the NBA, and I think that he's astonished many people throughout the world. This kid is incredible. I love watching him play. He's great talent, has great maturity as a young kid, and he's a leader already at a very, very young age. And given the year that he's had, I think he's deserving.
Even before LeBron James stepped onto a basketball court, he was worth $120 million in endorsements. His jersey is the #1 seller here at the NBA store, and he's made the Cleveland Cavaliers into a contender. And you know what? King James is only going to get better. Despite their rivalry, LeBron and Carmelo are the best of friends. Earlier this year, Anthony claimed that he would win the Rookie of the Year title, but now that the trophy is in LeBron's hands, it just adds more fuel to their competition on the court. In New York, Enrique Correa reporting for BET Nightly News.
BET's Enrique Correa goes one-on-one with the outgoing superstar.
So my decision is to retire.
It's official.
The man who made the Knicks a contender during the early 90s has said goodbye to his NBA career today at the age of 40. Ewing says retiring is difficult.
It was very hard. It was very hard. You know, basketball is something I've been doing for so long.
Many of Ewing's old coaches and teammates were at the press conference to support their friend. Ewing's high school coach Mike Jarvis, his former Knick coach Jeff Van Gundy, and his former teammates Charles Oakley, Herb Williams, Allen Houston, and Mark Jackson.
Brilliant basketball player, but more importantly, an even better person. Somebody that embraced me at an early age and made life a lot easier for me when I first got into this league.
To play, Childs, Ewing, beautiful goes.
Knick fans say Patrick Ewing will eventually make it to the Basketball Hall of Fame. However, some fans will remember Ewing as the man who promised a championship to the New York Knicks, but never delivered.
Well, it is very upsetting that he never won us a championship, but it was always good watching him play. I've loved him for a long time, so to hear that he's retiring today, you know, it saddens me.
For 17 seasons, Patrick Ewing was a member of the NBA. And for 15 of those seasons, he played right here at Madison Square Garden as a member of the New York Knicks. And now that Patrick is officially retired, he plans on being an assistant coach with the Washington Wizards, and he'll be working with Michael Jordan.
Michael tried to get me to, when he was the president of the team, tried to get me to come play for the Wizards. I turned him down. So when the Wizards called me again to ask me to come and work for them, I thought, you know, I can't turn them down a second time.
It's using the clock. And Ewing shot. And Ewing with some words.
In New York City, I'm Enrique Correa reporting for BET Nightly News.
Story for us. Enrique?
Brenda, so was Babe Ruth black? Maybe it doesn't really matter, but Spike Lee is bringing it up. He wrote an article for a new magazine called Gotham that poses that question. George Herman Ruth, the Babe, a legend, one of the best baseball players ever, the Sultan of SWAT. But in a game where the color barrier wasn't broken until the 50s, comes rumor that baseball's ultimate hero was part black.
I did not discover this. I did not manufacture this. There are people talking about this since the 1920s.
Spike Lee is an actor, a director, and now a sports writer for Gotham magazine. He says he heard the stories about the Babe, and now he's writing about it.
There's something that Ty Cobb talked about, and so there's always been speculation, but now with DNA, you can really, all we did was suggest an article. Now with DNA, you know, DNA doesn't lie. That's all we're saying.
Dave Kaplan is a baseball historian and is director of the Yogi Berra Museum and Learning Center in Montclair, New Jersey. He says the story about Ruth have been passed down for decades.
When he was playing with the Yankees, he was called black. He was called black so often that a lot of people began to believe he was partly black. And the truth is that Negro League players were secretly rooted for Babe Ruth, thinking they had a secret brother.
There's no real way to find out if the Yankee slugger had black blood in him unless you dig up his grave and get a DNA sample. But that's never going to happen. In his article, Spike asked the all-time home run leader Hank Aaron about Ruth possibly being part black. Aaron said they're not going to dig up the Babe. They're going to live with that for the rest of their natural-born lives. They don't want that revealed, that there could be an ounce of black blood in him, one drop, and that's it. Joseph Stoyer is the editor-in-chief of Gotham magazine. Stoyer says this controversial article will sell magazines.
Babe Ruth is at the heart of you know, America and what America stands for, and I don't think that everybody wants to believe that America stands for black people, unfortunately.
Whoa, whoa!
9-year-old Ashley Ellish and her family are some of the biggest Indians baseball fans you'll ever meet.
I love it so much, and I love the ball games. I see them a lot. I see every game, even when I'm sick.
2 years ago, Ashley came down with viral meningitis and spent 6 days at the Rainbow Babies and Children's Hospital. That Christmas, when she came home recovering, she turned to her father and asked him for a special wish.
We said if she had one wish, what would it be? And we were standing at the living room window, and she turned to her dad and said, if you could build me a large ball field out there in the corner. And at the time it was just like a field.
And that's how they came up with the name Corner Field. The field sits in the corner of their 5 acres. So when you come down Pioneer Road in Geauga County, it's hard to believe that this homemade field really exists.
People tease, or sometimes they'll say about Field of Dreams, or what. It's not the Field of Dreams. If anything, it's a field of passion. the feel for the game, coming out here daily, playing it. You forget your troubles, you forget everything around you, and you play ball.
The Ellis family says the other reason why they built this field is because it brought the family together when Ashley became sick.
If you didn't have family time and it was one person, this would probably take more than 5 years to do this. You got to have team effort. If you don't have no team effort, this can't be done.
Altogether, the family spent 2 years building it and a couple $1,000s, plus some people donated materials. There's the field, a dugout filled with equipment, a picnic area, a backstop even with a net for foul balls. There are even markers out by their 2 horses, if you can hit it that far.
I'm a good hitter. I can hit to the fence at 225.
Ashley still suffers from bad nosebleeds and severe migraine headaches, but it's something about the game of baseball that gives her some peace.
I feel better when I come out here. I get fresh air. I love it when I hit. I love the feeling of the ball and bat. I love it so much.
Reporting from Geauga County, Enrique Correa, Fox 8 News.
Correa is live outside the court in Lower Manhattan with the very latest. Enrique?
That's right, Cindy. The jury is still deliberating upstairs. They're trying to find out if Rocco Graciosa is guilty of assault or is it just a case of self-defense. Today in Manhattan Criminal Court, the jury heard the slurred, profanity-laced 911 call of David Wells again. They also watched the video from the surveillance camera of the Upper East Side diner where Rocco Graciosa punched Yankee pitcher David Wells in the face. During the defense's summation, attorney Henry Mazurek told the jury that Rocco Graciosa punched Wells because he was intimidated by the 6'4", 240-pound pitcher. Mazurek says Wells grabbed his client's shoulder, and in an act of self-defense, Graciosa punched Wells, knocking out some teeth. The defense feels they'll be cleared of all assault charges.
David Wells was the aggressor in this case, and the people haven't proved it.
However, the prosecution says Graciosa was making fun of Wells and sucker punched his client when the Yankee pitcher came out of the bathroom. The prosecution contends Wells was not looking for trouble because he was the one who called police after the altercation. Mel Sachs, who is David Wells' lawyer, spoke for the pitcher who was not in court today.
David Wells was victimized and this man committed a violent crime.
If Rocco Graciosa is found guilty, he faces up to a year in jail. We're live in Lower Manhattan. I'm Enrique Correa, CBS 2 News. Back to you, Todd.
Enrique, thank you.